All right. Okay, so we're gonna talk about chapter 12, the very last chapter in the textbook. All right, managing innovation. Very, very simple topics. Very, very simple topics. All right. The types of innovation, we're gonna talk about that. Then we are gonna talk about how to well manage the innovations. Okay, pursue innovations. It's a very simple topic. So let me start with the checking. So everything is all right. So if you are ready to start, please say yes, your audio, video, whatever. Okay, please let me make sure, okay, you are ready to start. Great. Great. Okay, good, good. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. All right. So before starting chapter 12, I just reminder, I promise to actually I don't know what exactly, what time was it, okay? But I promise to talk about price discrimination, okay? Price discrimination. So, okay? So today will be the perfect time to talk about it briefly, okay? So, because price discrimination can be applied in your simulation too, okay? So, it's a good example. Pfizer and BioNTech, okay? They developed a vaccine, all right? They developed a vaccine, okay? Famous story. Then they distribute all over the world their vaccines, okay? And then they need to consider when they determine the price, they need to consider income levels in each country because each country has its own income levels. Okay? For example, the USA, right? USA, high, very rich country, so very high level of income. Okay? And then, okay, some Africa country, Uganda, all right? They have low income levels. Okay? Very low income levels. So actually, their purchasing power is not same as that of the USA, Americans. Okay? So in their pricing strategy, they should consider these differences, right? Okay. Then, rich country and poor country. So if you are the boss of Pfizer, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You need to, both markets are important too, all right? So you have both markets. So then what are you gonna do? Yes, it is a very simple solution. You discriminate the price. Right? You have two prices. Then you have better off. Actually, some economists already talked about this. So probably you talked about this topic in your economics class, but I just want to remind this very simple, diagrams. All right, can you see it? My document camera. Okay. See? All right. Okay. So look at this. This is price, and this is quantity. Everyone knows this, right? Price, quantity. Yeah. And this is a supply curve. This is a demand curve. Yeah. Everyone knows this, right? So there's a price here, and there's quantity. P star, Q star. Okay. So if there's one price is here, okay, and quantity, you produce this, right? Okay. Econ 101, right? Okay. So this is suppliers surplus, and this is consumers buyers, surplus. Right, so that's good. Okay, then there's only one price in this setting. Okay, all right. If there's a two price, okay, so probably this is the price for the USA market. Price USA. Okay, and one more price, the lower price in the Africa. Okay, so price Africa. All right, then consumers, no, supply surplus be here and here. Okay, all right, so it is increased, surplus increased. Yeah, this. Okay, so surplus increased. That means suppliers have more benefits from this two prices. This is a price discrimination strategy. Okay, so using the price discrimination strategy, suppliers surplus increased, then that means suppliers, Pfizer, have more benefits from this strategy. Right? This is how to explain the discrimination strategy. Very simple way. Okay. All right. So I just want to remind you this price discrimination strategy, because in your simulations, okay, it's not directly applied price discrimination strategy, but pricing determination, pricing strategy is very, very important. Very, very important. Okay, that's why I just wanna share this simple strategy, pricing strategy, price discrimination. Okay, all right. And let's move the managing innovation this time. So innovation, we talked about that, right? Reduce cost, increase product differentiation simultaneously. That's why many people are crazy about innovations. Okay, so we are going to talk about some types of innovation, and also we are going to talk about how to manage innovations. Okay, very simple topics. Okay, so it won't be long. Okay, so teamwork. I already talked about this. Teamwork is very, very important for your team, and also it will impact your grade too. Okay, so your teammates, okay, make your teammates highly evaluate your contribution in a teamwork. Okay, and we are talking about chapter 12. Okay, so Monday, right? Monday is a Monday, right? So this is Wednesday. Okay, Monday we are gonna do exams. Then we done all the textbook chapters. This will be exam 3 will be your last exam. Okay, so we done all the textbook things. Okay, then we focus on simulations. Okay, application of the topics what we have discussed with the textbook. Okay, so presentation 3 is March 31. Okay, so it's the same as the previous the presentation. We are gonna share what your strategy was and how the performance was, what you learned from those two rounds. Then we can move the regular competition round. Okay, just focus on the regular competition rounds. Okay, any question about the schedule? Anything? So far so good. All right, let's move. So, yes, let's start with the one case. So, your one case is already available, huh? And please go to Canvas, and your one case is available right now. Okay? Chapter 12 one case. So I'm gonna give you 10 minutes. Okay, 10 minutes as we do usually. Okay, 10 minutes. So 2:12, 2:21. please go ahead and take the warm keys. Okay? I'm gonna give you 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Then we're gonna discuss this warm keys. Right. So I'm gonna mute my microphone.
You are now.
All right, many students already done. So please let me know if you need more time. I need more time. Please let me know. Okay. So if you're not done yet, please keep doing it. Keep doing it. Okay. I'm gonna start the discussions to save our time. Okay. Number one. Let's talk about the innovations. Okay. Types of innovations. Number one. Process innovations are often associated with the low-cost leadership strategy. It's true or false? It's true. Okay, it's true. Number two, product innovations are commonly associated with the differentiation strategy. It's true too. All right. Number one and two, okay, both are true. Right. Process innovations, product innovations. Process innovations, simply speaking, focus on the steps, any steps in the business process. Okay. So usually process innovations are focused on reduce cost. Okay, to reduce cost. So it's a cost leadership strategy, right? And product innovations commonly associated with differentiation strategy. Yes, because product innovation means you focus on having a better product, better features of product. Okay, your product or better products. So it's a product differentiation strategy. Okay. So process innovations and product innovations. All right. Okay. Number three. Disruptive innovations. We know this, right? Disruptive innovations and incremental innovations. So disruptive innovation. Oh, sustaining innovations, probably sustaining innovation. Okay. All right. Disruptive innovations are those that overcome markets by providing an altogether new approach to meeting customers' needs. Yes, it's true. So disruptive innovation is actually creating new market. All right. So it threatened the existing market. Disruptive innovations. Okay, over time. All right. So disruptive innovations are welcomed by big corporations? Probably not. Probably not. Okay. So disruptive innovations, okay, sometimes replace the existing market, destroy the existing market. Okay. Then big corporations that have already enough market shares in the existing market, and they don't want to have these disruptive innovations because the market is changing. Okay. All right. But small companies, entrepreneurial companies, they desperately find this kind of market because they need to get into the market with a new rule of the game in the market. Okay? They want to create the market. Okay? All right, number four, radical innovation often involves open-ended experimentation, which can be very time-consuming. Yes. So radical innovation is very similar with disruptive innovations. Okay. Radical, right? The opposite is incremental innovations. Okay. So we talk about types of innovations: process innovations, product innovations, okay? Disruptive innovations, sustaining innovations, and radical innovation and incremental innovations. Okay, we talk about some types of innovations. Easy. Okay. Number five, strategic renewal and the pursuit of new venture opportunities are the two primary aims of corporate entrepreneurship. Yes, that's true. Okay, so this is the purpose of corporate entrepreneurship. Corporate entrepreneurship is, simply speaking, a big corporation or any medium-sized corporation. Any corporation has separate set of companies, okay, within the umbrella of their corporation to pursue innovations. Okay, these are two tricks. Corporate entrepreneurship is two tricks. All right? Two tricks. Why corporation pursue this strategy? Because why two tricks? They wanna maintain this existing, corporations, okay, without any impact from this new tribe. Okay? So, corporate entrepreneurship, corporations want to operate, maintain the existing business, okay, in a solid and a stable way, okay, and they pursue innovations with this new tries, new companies, new small companies, entrepreneurial companies. Okay? They don't want to mix up this. They don't want to mix up these two tracks because this new tries, okay, new entrepreneurial tries can impact the existing strategy, existing culture, existing organizations. Okay, they don't want it. Okay, that's why they pursue two tracks. So the existing business is going on. Then they set up a new entrepreneur companies to pursue innovation independently. Okay, so that's the same. Renewal and the pursuit of new venture opportunities. Right? This is corporate entrepreneurship. Yeah. Number 6, business incubators. We know this. Okay, business incubators. We know this. Okay? Hackberry, and what is that? The Berry Enterprises, probably. Berry Enterprises. They produce, they sell actually produce fresh products, some steaks, some meats, and some other fresh products. Okay? So business incubator, a simple concept. Okay? In your arm, okay? So you prepare some business fundamentals, okay? And small companies, entrepreneurs come in this, and then they have their own business with your help, and when they grow up, they just go independent. Okay, this is a business incubator. Okay, so we have a good example of this in the Berry College. Okay, number 7, corporate ventures that use real option logic in decision making tend to keep total investment low in order to minimize the downside risk of a project. Yes, this is why we use the real options. We talked about the real option at the beginning of the semester with my papers, right? So we talked about already real option. The first stage, you make a small amount of investment. Second stage, you make a big official investments. Okay. So by doing this, you can minimize the downside risk to project. Okay. So it is information and timing things. The real options. How about that? Easy, right? So innovation management, actually, in reality, it's not easy, but when we generalize it, okay, the textbook things, it should be easy because it's a sort of the obvious. It's a sort of obvious. Okay. Any question? Any question? Comment? So can I move? Okay. All right, let's move. All right, so look at this, learning objectives. We already talked about the types of innovations, right? And corporate innovation process. And we're gonna talk about some strategy techniques, okay? Some strategy to manage innovations and real options and entrepreneurial orientations. These are, I'm not going to talk about this real options and entrepreneurial orientation in detail. Okay, so we already knew this. Okay? We are in the very last chapter, chapter 12. Okay, then we've done all the textbook things. Then we focus on the simulations. Okay, Google. Google's case. Okay. So anyone can just introduce this case. What is this case about?
This case was about so Google wanted to get into the radio advertisements. They were hoping to innovate the process and make it more functional, like how they do with their online ads. But in the end, it didn't really work out because the process for radio ads just didn't really fit Google's model. It was just entirely different, and so they ended up spending all this money to try and get into that market, but they weren't able to gain any access into that market, so they just kind of quit dabbling in radio advertisements.
All right, great, Morgan. Morgan, so thank you so much. Okay, great summary of the case. So Morgan summarized the case. Okay? Said actually this case has a lot of implications. Okay? It's a very small case, but it's a good case because it has many things to talk about. It has many implications. Okay? But at this point, I just wanna make some points with this case. Then we are move. Okay. So Morgan summarize it. Okay. So Google. Okay. Google. Everyone knows that, right? Big and very smart. Okay? So online company. And they tried to get into the radio advertising market, but it was not so successful. Okay. So from this case, I just think of some topics we already talked about. Okay. So first is core competencies. Okay? Your textbook doesn't emphasize a lot, but this is very important topic. Okay? Core competencies. So think about that. Google doesn't have any core competencies in the radio market, right? Radio market. Okay? That's why they are so successful, right? Okay? They are very good at in online market. Everyone knows that. They have many core competencies in the online market. But in the radio market, they don't have any experience. They don't have any core competencies to compete against other radio market companies. That's why they are not successful. Okay. So if they want to get into the radio market, they should think of what their core competencies in this market. Okay. We talked about that, right? What are our core competencies? You need to ask yourself. Okay? Then, core competencies, you think this is a core competencies. Then you need to ask again 4 questions. Okay? VRIM. Okay? We talked about that. Is it valuable? Your core competencies. Valuable, rare, inimitable, and what is that? What is the last question? Insustainable, whatever. Okay. So if you ask these 4 questions and say yes, then you get into the market because you have strong core competencies, okay, to compete against other companies. All right. So core competencies, you need to think about that, okay, in your simulation too. So you need to compete against other teams, right? Other corporations. So what are your core competencies? What is it? Then you develop it. Then you compete with it. All right? These are core competencies. And dynamic capabilities. Okay? And competitive dynamics. These 2 concepts are very closely related with each other. Okay? So basically, these theories are looking at the dynamic, the change in the market. Okay? So you should monitor, okay, any change in the market, competitions and environments, and whatever. Okay. If you sense it, if you recognize and change that impact your business, okay, then you should, respond proactively. Proactively. Okay. So think about your simulations. Your market is changing in every round, because you are changing. Okay, you are changing, and also other teams are changing, right? Other teams are changing. Right? So in the perceptual maps, okay, it shows where all the products are in the market. Okay, then you need to monitor this, how the competitions are changing. Okay, then your job is straightforward. Okay, find a less competitive market. Okay? Because less competitive market means better profit. Okay? All right, so let's move. Real option approach. Okay? So we talked about this a lot. Okay? Real option approach. So I'm not going to talk about it in detail, but in your simulations, okay? If you are not sure about your strategy, okay? If you are not, then you can use this real option approach. Timing issues. You just delay. Okay? But you collect information about it. Then you make decisions a little bit later. Okay? A little bit later. In your simulations, new product. Okay. So R&D strategy. In the R&D strategy, it is assumed that it takes 1 year to develop a final product. So you start to develop a product, and it takes 1 year to have a final product in the market. Okay, you should know that, right? So you have multiple products, you wanna have it, then okay, your R&D strategy should take just 1 year to develop a new product. Okay, so you should decide when you start to develop a new product. Then it takes a 1 year. So I just want to let you know this. Okay. All right. So this. Okay. So how many topics? 4 topics. 4 topics are involved with this case. It's a pretty good case. All right. Any question? Comment? Because this is the very last topic, okay, the last chapter, I want to reduce any burden on your shoulders. That's why I just do, okay, talk too much today, okay. So I want to finish up this chapter as much as fast as I can, okay? And to give you some extra time. Okay? All right, any question, comment? No. All right, can I move on? All right. Okay. All right. I will be a little bit fast today, okay? But if you don't have any, if you have any question, comment, just let me know, okay? So innovations we already talked about, okay? But at this point, I want to say this. Okay? I just want to remind you that the appropriate technology, we talked about that, right? Appropriate technology, okay? When we are talking about innovations, many people, remind that fancy technology, IT, computers, and biotechnology, or some science things. Okay? But innovation is everywhere, right? Innovation is everywhere. If you find any way to reduce costs, increase productive organizations, that is innovation. Okay? So innovation is everywhere. You are working in the accounting field and marketing field, management field, it doesn't matter. Okay? there are a lot of opportunities to pursue innovations. Okay? We are talking about that process innovations. In any step in the business process, there is opportunity of innovations. Okay? So look at this. Innovations allow for transformation of organizational process. Okay? So reduce cost, right? Anything that reduce cost is a innovation. Okay? And product side, creation of new and commercially viable product service. Okay, so process, reduce cost, product, increase product differentiations. Anything to do this is innovations. Okay. All right, so product innovations, we will talk about that. There's new product designs and features. Okay, and process innovation is focused on the efficiency of an organization process. So product innovation, product differentiation strategy, and process innovation, cost leadership strategy. Okay. And radical innovation and incremental innovation. Radical innovation, destroy or replace or hardly, very most destroy, anyway, change the existing market. This is a radical innovation. Okay. Highly disruptive. Incremental innovations can enhance existing practice. So incremental innovations are welcomed by big corporations, but radical innovations not. All right, not. And small companies, entrepreneurial companies, want radical innovations. They don't, not interested in this incremental innovations. It's very similar with this. Disruptive innovations are similar with this, radical innovations. And sustaining innovations is similar with incremental innovations. So I'm not going to replicate this. Yeah. So how to manage innovations? It's not easy. Okay? In the textbook, when you read the textbook, it's very simple, and systematic. But the reality, managing innovation is not systematic. Okay? And also, it's not easy. Okay? So, what points we should consider? Okay, we want to talk about that. Okay? So, innovation challenges. There are many challenges. Many challenges. The first thing, C's versus V's. So, what innovations we need to pursue? What innovations? See, it's not easy. Okay. What projects? Okay. What projects? Okay. What projects? Okay. There are many potential projects. Okay. Then, what innovations we really pursue this, because we have limitation of time and resource. Okay. So we need to consider this, which project should we pursue, and experience versus initiative. Who should lead an innovation project? So experienced people or initiative. Initiative people, they're fresh, but they don't have experience. Right? Experienced people, and they are good to do existing jobs, but they're not sure. They're not sure about a new pursuit of innovations. So which one will be better in this project? As a manager, you should determine. You should think about that and also determine. Okay? Internal versus external staffing. Building capabilities versus collaborating. It's the same thing, right? Building capabilities is internal and collaborating external. Okay? So, make or buy, we talked about that, right? Diversification strategy, corporation level strategy, make or buy, all right? So internal means make, and external means buy. Building capabilities means make, and collaborating means buy. Which one you will choose? Which one will you choose? It's not a simple decision. It's not a simple decision. Okay? So we talked about that make or buy, right? So we talked about pros and cons of each choice. So you can just remind this, and you can understand that. Okay? And incremental versus preemptive launch. Okay, timing. So incremental is less risky, right? Because you just follow, you have some benchmarking things. Preemptive is totally new, so it's risky. So which one you will choose? You should decide this. Okay? There are many specific factors. There are many specific factors. So we cannot generalize all of these factors. Okay? Okay? But you should consider these factors. You're a business leader. Okay? So that's why you need to think of it. All right? Okay. So how to improve the process? Okay? How to better managing the innovations? Okay? Cultivating innovation skills, discovery skills, creative intelligence. Okay? Right? All right. So I already talked about that. Appropriate technology is important in this perspective. Okay? So innovations are everywhere. Okay? So discovery and creative intelligence. Okay? Many IT companies, many information technology companies use these skills. Okay? But many people think this is only for IT industry, but it's not. It's not. Okay? Innovations can be anything, can be everything. You should, consider this. Okay? So in your job, okay, you are seniors, graduating seniors. So you will have a job, and then in your job, anything can be innovation if it decrease cost, increase product differentiations. Okay, so innovation can be anywhere. You should keep in mind. Okay. Oh, when you propose something with a new idea, your own idea, okay, then even your idea is not accepted, okay, don't be disappointed. Don't be disappointed because okay, the reality only one or two ideas out of 100 ideas are accepted in the organization. Okay, so only 1 or 2%. Okay, so many good ideas are not accepted in the organizations. Okay, so it is so natural if you propose a new idea, but this idea is, in some steps are not accepted, internalized. So very natural. Only 1 or 2 new ideas out of 100 is accepted. So don't be disappointed. If it's not accepted, you can have next opportunity. All right, new ideas, and then you try again. All right. This is a business process. Okay. And scope of innovations. Sometimes it's very helpful to determine the scope of innovations because innovation is a so broad concept. Huh? All right. So sometimes many people are just lost, okay, in these concepts. So if you define a clear scope of innovations, okay, it will give you a clear picture of innovations you pursue, and also it will give a good picture for your colleagues, your team, all right, your organizations. It's good. That's why sometimes we need the scope of innovation we need to define. Right? Okay, then managing the pace of innovation. Oh, I'm sorry. Incremental innovations, radical innovations. Which one you will choose? Okay. So timing is very important. Okay. So in your simulations, again, it takes 1 year from the initiation of development and final market. So you need to consider this. So you need to think, okay, when you start this new product. Okay, so please take care of this. All right, then staffing to capture value from innovations. Okay? This is not an easy techniques because people have internal inertia. Every organization, every people have internal inertia. So they don't wanna have external things, okay? For many reasons. Okay? So you need to manage this internal inertia. Okay? Then you will have a better performance. Okay? Partners are very important, and the value of unsuccessful innovations. You know, not every innovation tries cannot be successful. All right, so there should be unsuccessful innovations. How to treat that? Because it is important, because it is your knowledge. Even unsuccessful innovations, it is your knowledge. Okay? So it is not successful for the current purpose, but it can contribute for the next use of the project. For example, 3M Post-it. It was not a successful project. Actually, it was a failed project. And then, it is very interesting, sticky, but not, not good sticky, not well sticky. Okay? Then, Post-it is developed. Okay? So, unsuccessful innovation is also have some, value too. Okay. All right. So far so good. You with me? Okay. All right. So if you have any question, comment, just let me know. Okay. All right. So corporate entrepreneurship. We already talked about this topic too. 2 tracks: existing business, organization, and new tries with some small companies, entrepreneurial companies. Okay? So corporate entrepreneurship is pursuit of new venture opportunities, strategic renewal, yet intrapreneuring. Okay? So we already talked about that. So new venture groups and business incubators, we already talked about too. Okay? All right, new venture groups are the semi-autonomous units with an informal structure. Okay? And business incubators, we talk about Hackberry and Berry Enterprises. So let's move. All right, so innovations. Okay? What is a successful innovations? Okay? It is a big topic. What is a successful innovations? Usually innovations, the success of innovations cannot be measured by any financial things, because innovation itself is a strategic component. Okay, so the performance of the innovations should be evaluated by strategic reasons, not money. Okay. All right, so it's strengthening competitive position, entering into new market, expanding capabilities, extending the corporation's base of resources, core competencies. Yes, these are better measure, better questions to evaluate corporate entrepreneurship. Okay. All right, you can read this. Real option analysis, we talked about that, so I'm not gonna replicate this. Okay. And the last topic is entrepreneur orientations. Entrepreneur orientation. Probably we have a table. Yes, this. Entrepreneur orientations. So leadership of entrepreneur companies are different from that of big corporations. Okay. These orientations emphasize autonomy, all right, of entrepreneurs, innovativeness, proactiveness, competitive aggressiveness, risk taking. So you can just read this and then you can understand that. The reason I use entrepreneurial orientation is very, very simple. Very, very simple. Entrepreneurial leadership is very, very important to, to push and pull the entrepreneurial organizations. Okay? And this leadership is quite different from that of big corporations. Okay? There are many, many dimensions. Okay? But this textbook is talking about 5 dimensions. These are necessary entrepreneurial orientations, okay, to have successful innovation projects. Okay? All right. Oh, yes. So we're done. All right. We talk about some types of innovation, some strategy to manage innovation, and entrepreneurial orientation. Done. Okay. This is chapter 12. Any question, comment about chapter 12? All right. Probably not. Okay, then on Monday, we are gonna take exam 3, right? We're gonna take exam 3. So you are familiar with my exam. So same format, but we covered 3 chapters. All right, the recent 3 chapters, not cumulative. Okay, so be prepared to take the exam on Monday. Okay. So far, we've done all the textbook topics, textbook things. Yeah, a lot of discussions. Okay? Actually, you did great job for discussions. Okay, I love it. Okay, so you did a really fantastic jobs. Okay, we did have great discussions in that setting, okay, with a textbook. So now we focus on it's a transition period. Now we focus on the applicational topics with the simulations. Okay, I believe you will do a great job too. Okay, all right, great. Any question, comment before we go on? Okay, if you don't have any question, comment, I'm gonna see you on Monday. Okay? I'm gonna see you on Monday. You did a great job. See you on Monday. Yes, have a great weekend, Jensen. All right, good job. Yes, you did a good job. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much.